Okay, so um, this is the best thing I could do with the camera setup I have. So I'm sorry if this thing looks upside down, but I'm just mainly here just to kind of show you the different stuff of the Boss ME50, and I actually got the Boss ME80, and I'll do that later. But I just want to kind of go over this stuff with the Boss ME50, the different sections, and I want to do this before I give this away to one of my students. Alonzo, this is yours. Um, Consider yourself lucky. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through each section of each of these Boss ME850, so you can kind of use this as like a reference guide or yeah. Let me just talk about my setup. Um, what I'm doing is I have my guitar obviously inputted to the ME50, and then I'm using the guitar amp out, the stereo out into a recorder, and oddly enough, it actually works better than the line record out. So go figure on that one. Okay, so we're just gonna go from section to section, and I know you can't see it too well, but I'm gonna kind of point to like where each section is. Okay, and explain what's going on. So we're gonna start with the tone modify, which is right here. The tone modify. Okay. So here's my flat sound, just guitar by itself. I think I did mention that I'm using this Yamaha Pacifica. It has one pickup, but it has, well, technically three settings. It's the Trembucker, so it has a single P90 and then combined with the humbucker. So it's kind of cool. Alright, so the first setting on the tone modify is fat. So I guess you'd say get like a bassy kind of sound. Start off, the basses are much more pronounced. Got presence, which is the opposite. Get a more high sound. And by the way, all these are on the single coil setting on the Trembucker. Then we got mild, which is, I'm guessing it's kind of like a volume tone knob, turned down. Yeah, pretty much that's it, but kind of useless in my opinion. Then you got tight. Let's see what this sounds like. It's got that tight mid-range sound. Yeah. I wonder how that sounds with overdrive. So I'm gonna turn the overdrive right here. Oh yeah. That tight setting works well with overdrive. Then we have enhance. I think it sounds pretty good with maybe some like acoustic strumming. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good with acoustic strumming. Then we have SSH. That means single to humbucker. So of course I have on single coil settings, so let's see how that sounds. Throw a little overdrive. Get a fat sound. Then we have a humbucker to single. So I'm going to put this on the humbucker setting. Okay, so it goes like this. pretty close, you know. Then it has humbucker to HF. I'm not sure what that is, but to me, it sounds like the 2 and 4 position of a Strat. Yeah, definitely has that quacky kind of sound. And then we have a hollow. I guess it's supposed to emulate maybe a hollow body jazz guitar. Maybe I'll turn the tone knob a little down. Sounds pretty good. I'm not too convinced about this hollow sound. And finally, we got right here the acoustic sound on the tone modify. Let's see how this sounds. I'll put in a single coil setting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's close enough. I wouldn't say it sounds exactly acoustic, but it definitely has a more percussive sound, so you can emulate an acoustic guitar. Alright, let's go to the next section, which is right here, the compressor. So it has two settings, a sustain and a level. Alright, so it should kind of even out your like highs and lows, right, and gives you more sustain. So I'm going to put everything at 12 o'clock. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how that sounds dry. Compare that to the sustain. Okay, 12 o'clock again. Alright, let's just turn this all the way up to max. I hear that noise, huh? Yeah, I definitely hear the noise. Okay, so speaking of which, on the noise, there's a noise suppressor right next to this, right here, noise suppressor. So, let's see how it sounds like. Oh, geez, that sounds really loud. Okay, so, put at 12 o'clock, it sounds okay, but see, let's see where the noise goes away, right here. Okay, so the noise suppressor is pretty much like a noise gate. I think I'd like to just put it right at 12 o'clock and just leave it there. Then the sustain at 12 o'clock, I think that's optimal. So you definitely do hear the sustain and kind of the evening out of the sound. So it works pretty well. Alright. The next section we have here is the reverb. Okay, now the reverb, there's 4 sections: room, hall, spring, and mod. So room emulates a room reverb, hall like a big concert hall, spring, like a spring reverb of a Fender, amp, those kind of amps. And mod is, I guess, a reverb with modulation. I'm gonna go direct to mod because I'm not quite sure what this is. Let's see how that sounds. Very interesting. Okay, so it adds like a little modulation kind of effect to the reverb itself, but not the actual attack, of the sound. All right, so let's go through each one. Let's do room. Start right. I'm gonna choose like the middle setting of each reverb. Okay, so room. Okay, let's go to hall. Turn up a little bit more. Alright, let's go to spring reverb. Yeah, you definitely hear that that kind of like springy sound. Oh, this is an ME50, so this is kind of an older model. This is perfectly, maybe the spring too old, is it? Has a little artifacting going on there, but I want to see, just turn it up to max. Definitely hear that weird artifacting. So I would, if you're on spring reverb, I'd probably put it right in the middle, but it sounds okay. Alright, so that's the reverb section. Alright, so what's cool about this pedal is there's a memory mode and manual mode. I like to use the manual mode because it kind of takes these 3 foot switches and make it feel like stomp boxes, So you can turn the overdrive on and off, the modulation on and off, the delay on and off. So I'm going to just kind of go through each one. Alright, so if you want to activate the overdrive, it would be this pedal right here, number 1. Alright, and then you get overdrive sound. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna use my humbucker. I'm gonna use my humbucker for all these overdrive sounds. Okay, so we'll just kind of go through each one. Man, there's a whole bunch. There's actually more overdrive sounds here than actually on the ME80. All right, so and each of these settings has a variation. Go figure. Okay, so the first one is the OD one. That's just the original overdrive pedal from Boss. Okay. Then there's a variation switch, so that's natural. By the way, I'm going to put all the settings at 12 o'clock here. Okay, next is OD2, which is, I believe, a super overdrive. See if it actually sounds like one. The overdrive is a little more sweeter. Variation is a crunch. seems like what these variations, what they did was they kind of put like more like amp settings on these variations. Seems like. All right, next one's the BD2, which is a blues driver. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, so far for me, the BD2 setting, 12 o'clock straight up. That's the least harsh sounding out of all the overdrives so far. Alright, the next one's the lead. Yeah, I'm not too good at lead, but yeah, definitely has that sustain, right? Alright, I'll stop fooling around with that. Alright, next one is the DS1. That's a famous distortion pedal. Sounds very distortion-y. Alright, this one's a loud setting of that distortion, so I guess it's going to be more louder. It's weird. It actually compresses more than the DS1. Alright, next one's MT2. It's like that famous metal zone thing, right? Oh yeah, to get that high gain. Yeah, well, this guitar's not the best for metal. I guess you need an EMG or something like that, right? Alright, then the variation's just metal. Maybe it's a more louder version. Oh yeah, it sounds more like the metal core. Alright, next one is, just says Scream. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, then the variation is Modern Overdrive. Yeah, I'm not really digging that one. Next one's Distortion Plus. I think that's like turbo distortion. Yeah. That's pretty tight. And then variation is stack. So it'd be like I guess like a full stack sounding. Yeah, as you can tell, back in the day, they still had a lot of work to do as far as like sounding like an actual, stacked amp or something. Alright, next is the Governor. I think that's like the Marshall distortion pedal. Honestly, everything starts sounding the same, right? The Rat. is like the Procore Rat, and it always sounds kind of like the mid sounds always so abrasive, I guess you'd say. All right, next we're going to some fuzz pedal stuff. We get the big muff, right? Def sounds, fuzzy, right? How about a fuzz face? Okay, now the variation of that fuzz face is an octafuzz. So I think it's supposed to emulate the Octavia pedal. So the whole idea of the Octavia pedal is to take a fuzz and then it takes your notes and raises it up an octave. That's what creates that kind of, weird sound. Okay, so that's it for the overdrive section. I gotta say, overall, it has some useful sounds, but the more high gain stuff, not very useful. I think the overdrives are pretty cool, and that the DS1 is useful. The metal stuff, stay away from it. Not the best. Okay, so next section is modulation. So you press the second button right here, turn on modulation. Okay, so again, I'm gonna turn everything to 12 o'clock. Start with the chorus. Good old chorus right here. So. Then, next setting, we have stereo chorus. There's two of them. This is the first one. That's how this sounds. Very interesting. Yeah, so you could probably hear that left and right has slightly two different types of choruses. Definitely feel more three-dimensional. Here's a second version of that. Okay. Next one's the phaser. Alright. And then flanger. Now the flanger sounds like, like a jet plane, right? So let me try to find the right. Let me change the rate to a slower one. Depth. Yeah, definitely get that jet plane kind of effect now, don't you? Alright, the next one we got here is the Harmonist. Now this one is, it obviously, you can create different harmonies, intervals. So when you use single notes here, you can choose different keys. I'm not sure if you're catching this. I can't, it's in here. But if you turn this knob right here, alright, you can select different keys. So I'm going to be in the key of C, alright, and the harmony believe this is an octave. Let's see. Yeah, octave below. And I think this is a 6. So that should be an A, right? So it's gonna be like that, right? Alright, and then we have a 5th. So there's like da da. Working right. Yeah, key of C. That's kind of weird. Why is it doing that? It just should be key of C. Yeah. Little quirks there. Let's do thirds. Yeah. I think it's a third below, actually. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, that sounds right. That sounds more like that Rugrats theme, right? Alright, it's a 4th. Now let's do the 5th. Okay, so it's... I guess this setting would be good for if you just really suck at power chords and you can only do one note. This will get you power chords. That'll get you there, alright? Alright, so that's enough of that harmonist. Alright, so we're at 12 o'clock. Next we got tremolo, good old tremolo. So I'm gonna increase the rate, kind of get that, you know, Boulevard of Broken Dreams sound, right? And let's see. Somewhere around here. Pretty close. Alright. Then we got pan. So it's supposed to like pan left and right, like a speaker or something. Oh, yeah, it's like left and right, right? Kind of trippy. Kind of gimmicky. Then you got the vibrato, so it's kind of supposed to emulate a whammy bar, I guess. Okay, that's silly. Okay, then this is a univibe. Oh, kind of has like a speaker rotating kind of sound, but that's not quite correct because there's a rotary setting, and that's supposed to emulate a rotating speaker. So this one, I think you can actually create like a Leslie kind of sound, I believe. Try to get that Los Olivos sound. Now you can tell with this ME50 that, they weren't quite there yet. This rotary sound. I tried the ME80. It sounds better than this. This sounds like they just modified, I don't know, the flanger phaser, something like that. It's not very convincing. But the chorus is the typical flanger phaser. The harmonics is great. The tremolo is great. The vibrato, silly. Most of these modulations are pretty good, so you should not have a problem. Alonzo using this pedal. Okay, and now the final section. We're not gonna do the expression pedal. We're just gonna do the delay. Okay, because this has gone like really long. Oh gosh, it's long. Okay, so we turn on delay. Alright, so I'm going to start all the way to the bottom right here. And it's 0 to 30 milliseconds, I think. Alright, let's see how that sounds. Okay, so it's very quick. So if I turn all the way up, the rate. So it's very quick. Next is 25 to 120. Okay, now you get a little more of the echoey guessing. Next, we've got 100 to 500. Okay. Definitely good for that kind of shuffle, That's not bad. And then we got longer 400 to 2000. Okay, that's really long. Let's turn it up back to, okay, middle. Next is an analog type delay. So then we have a thing called slow echo. This ought to be interesting. Okay, I get it. It's almost like a volume swell kind of thing. This one's a pan, so I guess it's just a delay with panning left and right. Space Pan. Okay, and we got the famous reverse delay. Reverse delay, we go. Yeah, see that's a famous reverse delay. It sounds like you're going like rewind, right? Okay, here's hold. So I believe this one you play it one chord and it just kind of holds it. Let's see how. I believe you have to press on the delay pedal. This ought to be interesting. Okay. So this, okay. Yeah, alright. So you gotta like maybe play a note. It's not quite what I was expecting. So nowadays, the boss pedal has like a freeze function. So that one, like, if you want to like just have like a note or chord droning, throughout the whole song, you could do that. This one doesn't really do that because it kind of creates like this like rhythm, and that's very annoying. Okay, and then finally we have tap tempo. So tap tempo is just you could set you could tap to the beat of a song. So that's nice. So realistically, if you're gonna use delay, you probably want to use tap tempo, just tap setting, and just listen to it when you listen to a song. Try to hear for the rhythm, like the main rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just all you're gonna do here with the delay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's gonna determine your delay for the most part. Now to turn it off, you gotta hold the delay pedal with the and then it turns off. And there you go. This is the Boss ME50, and we just kind of went through each setting. So whoever's gonna get this pedal, enjoy. Alright, see ya.